This is a message here, lads, going to Francie Doherty. Francie, this is John here, Francie, you know this is. Francie, I see you put 2 video clips up on Facebook a while ago, Francie, making no sense and telling lies. You said, Francie, that my brother was meant to rape someone before, Francie. I swear my child I buried in Drumcliff graveyard in Ennis. That's a lie. My brother never raped no one in his life. Yeah, sick bastard, you come out that stupid talk. You're the fucking rapist here, Francie. You were messing about, Francie, with a young one there. Well, we'll say she was messing about with you for 2 long years, using you, Francie, to get all tablets and bits and pieces off you, Francie. You would go for a chat with that young one one evening, Francie. You couldn't hack the pressure. You grabbed her by the neck, Francie, you dragged her up the stairs, you boxed the face off her, Francie, and you raped her. You used excuse afterwards that you lifted her up the stairs, you banged her face off the corner of the stairs. That's a lie. You boxed the face off and you raped her, Francie. You know what I'm saying is the truth, and I swear it was dead blunt to me, Francie. What I'm saying here is the truth about you. Now, after you, Francie, raping that girl, you came to our site, and you said you after doing something wrong, but you never admitted what you did at the time. You jumped the back wall of our site, Francie. You were a day and a half sleeping on the ditches in the back field. The detectives came to our site looking for you, and no one knew who you were. You were up on the field somewhere for a day and a half. You left there, Francie. You went to a fella's flat inside town with a fella that takes heroin. You were 2 days with him inside the flat. Your brother Mike got you, Francie, and dragged you up at the back of the neck. You were locked up by the guards. You got out anyway, Francie, and there was only one word of your rape charge, Francie, was give 10 grand. You hadn't got 10,000, Francie, at the time, because every few pound you had I took off you. I cleaned you to the ropes. You were coming buying bits and pieces off me, Francie. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know we're talking over this. I cleaned you out of me 15 years of age, Francie, and I cleaned you out to the ropes. You had to go, Francie, and sell your new highest van at the time to get 10,000 to get off your rape charge. And Francie, and I swear and who's dead blunt to me, Francie, and I wouldn't tell a lie, that what I'm saying here is 100% the truth, and you know that. You're a sick paedophile, Francie, that's sexually attracted to children. You're going around, Francie, thinking you're Pope Francis, that you can cure children with illnesses and sicknesses. Well, lads, for everyone out there that knows, Francie, keep your children far away from around him. He's a sick man. He's a paedophile. You know I'm telling the truth, Francie. You're not on your big blood pressure, red, scabby, smelly bastard. I'm going to smell the shit off you. No one ever wanted you around them, right? You were disowned because you were a sick man. Your own brothers disowned you. Right? Your own brother Mike wouldn't allow you into the site. You were 2 long years, Francie, staying on the back wall from our site because my father wouldn't allow you into the site. Your own brother John was living in the site at the time, but my father owned that site, had that site took over, and wouldn't allow you stay inside it because you're a sick man. That's the reason why. Now, Francie, I'm going to tell you another thing. You were inside Limerick prison one time doing a bit of time, Francie, and me Uncle John's son Jim was doing jail at the time as well in Limerick prison. Jim had your nerves broke around the jail, Francie, having a cracking laugh at you, Francie, right? Throwing out yokes at you when he seen you because he couldn't get his hands on you. One day he did. He was in the decks above you, Francie. He threw a full bucket of piss right on top of you one day, and there's not a thing he could do about it. You were doing that, and he rode the crying around the jail, Francie. Your nerves was broke. I tell you how bad is your nerves broke, Francie. You wouldn't leave your cell to get your dinner that you were afraid, that you were eating dry bread and your bowels nearly busted with constipation. Isn't that right, Francie? You got a transfer from there, Francie, to the Midlands prison. You tried to hang yourself in the Midlands prison because you couldn't hack the pressure. That's exactly what you did, Francie. You blood pressure, scabby, red, smelly bastard with a smell of piss off you. That's all you are, Francie. You're only a walking heart attack with your big tomato blood pressure face. You're a big strong man, Francie. I'm only over 21 years of age. You think you're something, Francie. Have you the balls, Francie, to come out and fight me? I'm only 20. Don't mind the rest of our older boys, because they just mangle you dead altogether. And all my cousins, you just mangle anyone. Will you come out to me, Francie? I'm only 21 years of age. Have you the balls? Because as far as I'm concerned, none of you had the balls to come out and have your clouts. Now, I want to hear no more shit talk from you, or no more your lip. You understand that? You red, scabby, pissy bastard, yeah. Now, Francie, you know all along, Francie, when you were passed out and you were left staying the bypasses, because you're only a simple boy in our eyes, that's all, a sick boy, and you know that, Francie. Them days is over and done with now. I know your little son, Francie. The fella's not 2 foot in height and he's about 17 years of age. The fella's a size 12 in a runner and with a dog collar for a belt to put around his waist. When he's caught, I'm grabbing him by the neck and I'm breaking his body in half with 2 or 3 boxes. Do you understand that now? All of you the shit talk, Francie. Now, the next time I see you, Francie, another thing, Francie, I'm telling you, I met you, Francie, in a Dowd shop in Turnpike one day, and I blocked you in with my car. I jumped out and I asked you, Francie, were you involved in this trouble? You laid back in your chair, Francie, because you know what I had in my pocket and I was going to leave you in house with it. You pulled a big bag of Mehal's tablets out to me and said, John, I'm a sick man, I have a bad heart, I ain't got to do none of this trouble. I left you alone at the time, and I told our boys to not pass heeding either. I told our Michael and the boys not to pass heeding you. When they see you, not to go baiting you. Right? I was the fella who was saving you all along. Well, now, Francie, I've news for you. When you're got, Francie, you're getting a baiting. You understand that? Your days of staying in the bypasses is all over and done with. You'll be seen, Francie, and the next time you are seen, don't be pulling your tablets out for excuses to get off. You're getting bait now when you're seen. You red scabby, you smelly, pissy bastard, you. The fella never wore underpants in his life. You smelly, scabby bastard, you. You understand that now? You paedophile rapist cunt, you. Don't be coming on this show, Francie, coming out your shit talk. And now, Francie, it seems that you're on coming out your shit talk. Be man enough and come out and have a few raps with me. I'm only 21 years of age. Have no excuses now. You understand that? You blood pressure, smelly, scabby bastard, you.